Hello and welcome to Honeybees and Orchids, and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you are new. Today is the day the queens will be caged, so the queen cups will be caged, so nothing can happen anymore. What do we need for that? A bit of honey, preferably crystallized, if not okay too. Queen cages, and a spoon or a fork with a nice end. Oh, and a coffee. Cheers. So here we go. It's quite easy. Well, it is very easy even. Just take a bit of honey. There are little compartments here. And just guide it in. Top tip, with a clean finger, a dry finger, wipe it. So the queen doesn't get all the honey everywhere. Next, bit of honey. Mostly I fill 2 compartments. As I said, it's preferably to use crystallized honey. That's not that sticky. If there's too much honey or any honey, in this part, she will smear it all over herself and she'll get really sticky. It could cause for crystals to form on her wings, which might make it not that easy for her to go on a mating flight. So, like so. So it's sticky in the middle, wipe it off, and done. Well, I will do them all, and then we will go cage the queens. See you in a moment. This is one of the hives we gave larvae 6 days ago. After 6 days, the queen cells are kept by the bees and ready for caging. It's a bit tricky because there's food in that container on the hive. Lots of food makes for nice, big, well-fed queens. Very important. So it's tricky not to mess all the sugar syrup. So let's have a closer look. We'll take out the frame where with the larvae, and if everything is okay, queen cells will be built by the bees and will be kept. So this is how it looks like. Let's clean it off with bees, well, gently, and go to the incubator. For this series I use an incubator because when the queen cells are kept, all the hive is for is incubating the queens, and that can be perfectly done in an incubator. So we can give that hive new larvae to make more queens for us. We'll cage the queens in a cage with a bit of honey down below, so they can, when they emerge, they will go in search of other queen cells and can sting the other queens to death because it's competition. So do not leave the incubator open. That's not good. It will cool off too far. And that's not good for the queen cells, and the incubator will go full throttle to get it back so it can shift the other way and become too hot. So open up, close again, open up, close again, leave as much heat in there. It needs to be at 35 degrees Celsius and 50 to 70% humidity. This is a nice looking queen cell going into the cage. And we cage them in if you leave them in the hive, we cage them because if the nectar flow starts, they will build comb between it and it will be very hard to get the queens out. So I made a test series if the incubator worked. It's the first time I use it, and the queens are hatching. They are beautiful virgin queens, but more about that in another video. So let's have a closer look inside the incubator. Do not mind the humidity and the temperature because I opened and closed it. It changed. At the left there are emerged queens. So that was a bit fast. This series we leave the queen cells inside the hive and let the hive incubate the queen cells. This is a nice beautiful queen cell. And there it goes. So it's safe now. An early emerging queen can't sting the other queens to death, and they can't build it in with comb. Yeah, they can, but then it's in a cage, so the queen cells are safe. This little cell, it must have been a very, very young larva because it hasn't been kept by the bees yet. Do not cage a queen cell that hasn't been kept yet. They still need to get some food, so that one goes back and I will cage it tomorrow. Best time to cage queen cells is either the day they get closed by the bees, so on 6 days after grafting, or 1 day before emerging. Then the days in between, the queen cells are very prone to, if it gets shaken too much, the larvae can fall out of the pupae, and the larvae can fall out of the royal jelly, and that will make for failed queens, while they will not even develop further and emerge. So right after capping or right before emerging is the best time. I don't know why I've got my gloves on, but I can't. Gloves make for thick fingers, and that's not really nice or really pretty to work with. I can't get it off, so the cage is going on with the queen cell still hanging from the frame, like so. There she goes. It's very bad acceptance. 20 larvae received and 4 queen cells built. But well, it's the way it is. It's a cold and wet. It's been a cold and wet spring, so the bees choose the larvae that are best, and my grafting skills are not that up to par. So they check and they decide which one will and which one will not be cared for. So up to the next video and see you soon. Houdoe!